this is Ginger from My Sister's Scrapper. I had several requests on measurements for how to make this little pocket page for this mini album. I do have a tutorial excuse me, on my channel showing you how to make these pages using a sheet of 12 by 12. But for this particular page, what I did was I used a sheet of 8 by 8 because I wanted it to be just a little, smaller, kind of like a true mini album. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. You can use solid cardstock, like in this example I used craft, or you can use double-sided paper as long as it's kind of an all-over design, not really a directional paper, but it's up to you. So what you're going to need is your paper, of course, and you're going to need your trimmer, trim your paper down, a bone folder, and a scoring board. And some glue, wet glue, dry glue, whatever works for you. Let me grab mine. Okay, so what you're going to do first is you're going to get your paper cutter out and you're going to get your paper. If you're going to use solid cardstock or two-sided paper, it doesn't matter, it's up to you. But to get the page, what you want to do is you want to take your paper and trim it down to 8 inches by 8 inches. So I'm going to use this piece of 8.5 by 11. And I'm going to trim it down to 8 inches by 8 inches. So that's what you need. And so this is what you're going to need for every page. So however many pages you want to do in your mini album, you need a sheet of 8 by 8 to make each one. Save this because you can use this for tags later for inside your pockets. Then what you're going to do is get your scoring board out. And go ahead and put your paper in there. And your first score mark is, again, it's an 8 by 8 square. So you're going to score it directly in half at 4 inches. Okay? Then you're going to take your paper and you're going to rotate it like this. So now your score mark is going horizontally. Then you're going to take your paper and you're going to flip it over. Okay? Then you're going to score at 2 1/4 inches. And you're going to score at 5 3/4 inches. Okay, so that's all the scoring. We're done with the scoreboard. So do that to all of your pages. Then what we're going to do is we are going to cut our paper. You can either use scissors or you can use a trimmer. For this video, I'm just going to use my scissors. So what you're going to do is on your center score line here, the 4-inch one, we're going to take our scissors or your trimmer and you're going to cut right on that score line up to where the score lines intersect, just right up to that one. Flip it around and do the same thing on the bottom of the page. So go ahead and trim it like this. So now your paper should be like this. You should have your 4-inch score mark going down this way and your other score lines going this way. And we're just trimmed it right to where they intersect. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to take your paper and you are going to take this first little panel right here and you're going to fold the corner right up just to the edge of that score line, making a little triangle like this. Okay? Do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to flip it around so it's easier for me to fold. Make sure I get it straight. Don't go over your score line. You just want to go right up to the edge. And give it a good crease. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take and you're going to fold this flap in and fold this flap in. Okay. Then what you want to do is do the same thing to the other side. Go ahead and take this, fold it down, Make a little triangle so you're folding corner to corner, and again, don't go over your score line, just go right up to it. And then go ahead and do the other side. And then fold your little flaps in. So now you should have something that looks like this. So then what you're going to do is fold it directly in half, because we've already scored right there, and give it a good crease. And then that's your page right there. This is where it's open right here. This is where you're going to do your binding. You can either use your bind it all, you can punch holes and do rings, or whatever you want to do. So then what you want to do here to finish this off, just really quick, open it back up, and then if you're using solid cardstock and you want to go ahead and mat this like I did on this one, what I did was, first off, is I like to cover the insides of my pockets. So I went ahead, before I glued anything down, I opened these back up. The first thing you can do is you can glue these little flaps down. So just take your glue and I'm just going to use this glue stick really quick. And it just keeps them out of the way, so they're not bugging you. Okay. So then what I did was I folded it over, and I kind of knew how much would show. So I just measured down and just cut a strip of my design paper to be about 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches by 3.25 inches, because I wanted a little border here. And then I just glued that strip down, and then I went ahead and folded it over. And you're going to go ahead and glue before you glue it down. If you want to go ahead and get this V shape, what I did was I took my paper. I'll use this for now. Oh, let me find a piece of design paper. As I stuck my design paper in here, I'll just use this. As I in here, and then down as far as at the end, so it met. And then I went ahead and took a pencil and just traced the V like this with my pencil. I just traced it in here like this. And then I cut it out with my scissors like this. And I tried to stay on the right side of my pencil line. That way I didn't have to erase anything, because I did want a little tiny border. And then that would give you the little border here. And again, just trim off any excess. Then go ahead and take your glue, and you want to just glue down just this flap right here, this one. And then put a little glue on this edge right here. And then that's your page. And then flip it over and do the same thing. Go ahead and open these up. Glue this down. And open this one up and glue this little flap down. You can trim these off, but I just like the neat edge of a folded edge. I think it just looks kind of cool. And then go ahead and add your piece of paper here that, again, was about 3.25 by 2.5 strip of design paper. And I used the same one on this mini album. I used the same sheet of paper on each one of mine, so they were consistent. Just made it easier. I didn't have to think. So go ahead and then glue that down, and then fold this in half. Measure your paper, stick your paper in there, and again, you're going to want your paper to be whatever. I think we said 3.25. Yeah, because these are 3.5 inches, so if you want the little border, if you're using solid cardstock, cut your paper to 3.25 inches wide by 4 inches. And then stick your paper in there again like this. Your 4 inches, and it should go all the way to the end. And then go ahead and draw your line like this. And again, cut it out. So it looks like this. and you're ready to go. So go ahead. And what I like to do when I'm making these is be consistent. For example, on this one, I glued the top, this flap on top of this one. So just be consistent. That way your seam will be the same. It doesn't really matter. It's just, I guess, a little, it keeps me straight anyway. So go ahead and put a little glue there and a little glue on the outside of this, on the top edge of this flap, and on the inside of this one. Fold them over. And there you have it. That's your page. So then what you want to do is, if you're going to use your cinch or your rings, then you don't need to close this pocket up here like this, because the rings or the bind it all will go ahead and close that for you. But you do need to close the bottom here if you want to put a tag in here. Okay? Because otherwise they'll fall out. So what I did is I like to use a wet glue for that, like a liquid glue, like I use Scotch Quick Dry, but I don't have it here. It's over on the other table. Just go ahead and before you bind it, just run a little bead of glue right on the bottom is all. And then seal it up. And then that closes it, the pocket at the bottom. And then this you don't have to worry about, because when you punch your holes, this is going to seal it up for you. Okay. Now if you don't, that will give you a pocket here at the top. So you'll have a pocket here. You will have a pocket at the top because we've closed off the bottom. You turn the page. Again, you have a pocket here. Okay. So there you go. That's how I made the little 8x8 using the 8x8 paper. So again, you're going to cut your paper to 8x8. You're going to score it at, one more time here, you're going to score it at 4 inches. Rotate your paper in your scoreboard, flip it upside down, and you're going to score it 2 1/4 and 5 3/4. Okay? So there you go, everybody. That's how you can make that pocket page in a smaller version using an 8x8 sheet of paper. There you have it. That was a quick tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye.